Out this morning. My name is Conor McFarland. I'm an incoming senior pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Economics and a minor in Spanish.
And my name is Taylor Berry, also an incoming senior, majoring in social work with a Spanish minor as well. So to start, I want to have everyone here imagine that instead of sitting in this auditorium, you're sitting at your home, maybe at your kitchen table. So think about how that feels there. Now imagine that you live in a manufactured home. A manufactured home, it's just a home that's made in a factory. Most people call them mobile homes. So you own this home. But let's say that an investor owns the land that your home is on. The investor, they control things like your rent and whether or not important repairs are made. So if they're motivated around making a profit off of the land that you live on, some things might happen like your rent being raised or those repairs being ignored. So now let's go back to that scene at your kitchen table. You're sitting there, it's a nice summer afternoon, and all of a sudden, you get a knock on your door, and it's a stranger telling you that the land underneath your home is going up for sale. How does that make you feel? Probably a little bit confused, angry, upset. Well, that's a reality for many residents of manufactured home communities all over New Hampshire, and it's not that uncommon.
So to quickly introduce you to the New Hampshire Community Loan Fund, it's a nonprofit that was founded in 1983 and is located in Concord, New Hampshire. It's one of New Hampshire's 3 CDFIs, or Community Development Financial Institutions. The diagram above shows the group of loan products the loan fund offers. We'll be focusing just on ROC-NH today, which stands for Resident-Owned Communities New Hampshire. They lend money to manufactured housing communities so they can buy the land underneath their homes.
So ROC-NH focuses on residents of manufactured housing communities that are up for sale. So these residents may not have the access to the capital they need to buy that land themselves. So they might not have access to that capital because of low income, because they're on a fixed income, or because they have low credit scores. So ROC-NH's solution to this challenge is that they go into the manufactured housing communities, help them form a cooperative, and then connect them to a loan so they can collectively buy over that land that they live on. So they collectively buy the land that they live on. So they also connect them to technical assistance, such as attending meetings with the residents or being available to answer questions whenever they're needed. They may also connect them to educational support, which might include training the residents on how to successfully run their cooperative. Should the residents decide to buy over that cooperative, to buy over that land, the result of this is a resident-owned community, otherwise known as a ROC. In a resident-owned community, residents own and govern the land that they live on. So the profit that's made on that land, it gets put right back into the land instead of going into the pockets of an investor. When the control of the land is put back in the hands of the residents, communities feel empowered and proud of where they live.
So to turn this manufactured housing community into a cooperative, there's a pre-purchase process that Taylor and I got to experience throughout our internship. And before we start, I wanted to make a distinction. When a manufactured housing park owner wants to sell their park, they have 2 options. Option A would be to negotiate with the residents with no time restriction and try to work out a deal that's in the best interest of both parties. Or option 2 is to find an outside buyer, have that buyer sign a purchase and sale agreement, and tell the residents, hey, you have 60 days to make an attempt at purchasing your park. So in the first week of our internship, we canvassed, meaning we went door to door at a 179 lot manufactured housing community, and we got to see the raw emotions that Taylor mentioned in the scenario earlier. Following the canvass, a week later, there's a residents meeting where the residents gather, they name themselves, they name their cooperative, and they incorporate into a limited equity housing cooperative in the state of New Hampshire. A week following the residents meeting, they organize a little bit more. They elect a board of directors, incorporate bylaws, and they sign an empowerment resolution, which empowers that board of directors to make decisions on behalf of the community. After the membership meeting, there's a 4 to 6 week process where the board of directors really have to, as it says, calculate acquisition costs, operating costs, and other factors that play into purchasing a sometimes multi-million-dollar property. Although the community we were working with didn't sign their purchase and sale agreement, it's because their board of directors did all the research they could to make their membership make an educated decision. And I know Taylor and I thought it was a great experience to see an entire 60-day process through. So changing gears a little bit, one of the projects we worked on at ROC NH this summer is a marketing and infill resource guide for ROCs throughout New Hampshire. For those of you that aren't familiar with infill, it refers to filling vacancies within a park, so filling a vacant lot or a vacant home. You can check out the table of contents right there quickly. It's kind of designed as a simple resource guide for residents to know kind of what action plan they should put together if they want to start filling lots in their community. And it has anything from marketing tips and tricks to funding information to information about New Hampshire realtors and manufactured home dealers.
So a line that I thought nicely summarized the mission of ROC NH is that they turn residents into leaders, renters into homeowners, and neighborhoods into communities. We'd like to thank the whole team of ROC NH, along with Fana and Fiona, for giving us this opportunity this summer. We're also really excited to say that we'll be continuing our work with ROC NH this fall during a part-time position.